you got to move him around. He's got to be stiff and tired, and and so I chip the ball, keep the ball, make him hit a lot of balls, lobbing him a lot, and so, but he wins the third set, he wins the fourth set, and now we get into the fifth set, and I decide, well, maybe I better, start going for a few shots, and I did, and I had all kinds of openings. I ended up having 7 match points, twice love 40 on his serve, match points, and I one shot that I remember, it was amazing. I he missed. He always got his first serve in, except this time on a match point he missed his first serve, and I decided, well, I'm going to hit out on this one, and I hit the really a good return away from him to his backhand side, and he's coming into the net, and he dives for the ball, literally dives on the court for the ball, and falls on the court. The ball does hit his racket, but the racket flies out of his hand, and the ball has unbelievable amount of backspin. I'm running to the net, and I can see, he's on the ground, doesn't even have a racket in his hand. The ball barely gets over the net, and he has so much backspin it bounces back into the net. And I'm there. I'm hitting the ball, but my racket. I couldn't. My racket got tangled up on the net because the ball was that close from the net. When he just barely got it over. So all I had to do was put the ball back on the court, and he's on the ground with no racket, and it's match point for me. Obviously, I didn't get the ball over the net, and so that was one match point. Another match point, I hit a great lob over his head, and he ran back, got to the ball, returned it. I got up. I followed my lob to the net, and I put the forehand volley away. I got a late call on the baseline, and I didn't argue, but some people said that even after the match, he says, they thought they saw some chalk fly off. And I said, well, but it was another match point. So I look at those 2 points. It's points that I was really unlucky, either with a bad call. I wish we would have had Hawkeye in those days, because I would have certainly raised my hand and said challenge. But anyway, so I those are 2 points that I felt I played the points great. I just unlucky to not win them, and but the most interesting thing about all of this, and the irony of all of that, is that, and anyway, he ended up holding on, saving those match points, and ended up winning the match in the end. But as I said, the irony of all of it is that had I won that match, it would have probably been a forgotten match. And now everybody still talks about it. They still remind me of it. I'm trying to forget it, but everybody still reminds me of that match. But it was really a great battle. And then something after the match really was something. It's just amazing. It shows you how you can compete against somebody and really be enemies on the court. Walk off the court, and of course I was distraught. I could not believe that I lost that match, and so I walk into the stadium, and I walk into the locker room, walk off the stadium into the locker room, and I go into a corner, and I just literally start sobbing. I could not believe that I lost a match, and the next thing I feel a towel, one of those big Wimbledon towels, being draped over my head, and I feel an arm around me, and it's Pancho, and he's saying, "Kid, I'm sorry, I was very lucky." And he came over. I was way in the corner over there, not even, near where his locker is. And he came over to console me, and, so I never forgot that. I never forgot, that gesture that he came. And that match, I think, even though, we had spent a lot of time together and we were great friends, but created a great bond that lasted for many, many years thereafter. And Pancho I used to always bring Pancho to the tennis tournament here to do clinics and to talk to the media and talk to the press, just to be around. And I always brought him over because we were that close friend, and obviously just to have the great Pancho Gonzales roaming around the courts of that tournament, to me was was a great honor to have him there, a great thrill, and it was, and people loved, and Pancho was great with everybody. The way he would talk to them and so we really developed this great bond, and that lasted until he died.